Hey guys, it's Ray Yori, better known as Rainy, like a rainy day, and I'm a local realtor as well as a board certified credit repair consultant. And I have a special guest with us today. I have Miss Amber, and I'm not even going to tell you about her organization. I'm going to allow her to speak for herself. So, first off, thank you so much for joining me today, Ambee. I really, really appreciate you for joining me, and I'm definitely looking forward to this interview and just learning more about your organization.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. It's been an honor. Most people know me as the founder and CEO of nonprofit EmpowHERment Community Center, but I am also a friend, a daughter of an angel, and the oldest of nine. I'm a niece, and so many other titles. I'm also a career student, and just so many other things that I think is important to recognize. Empowerment is my baby, but I'm also several other titles. Say all that to say, I started this organization about 3.5 years ago. My father actually committed suicide in November of 2017. And as I mentioned, I'm the oldest of nine. So I really wanted to create a platform for myself and for my family. So I realized that because my dad had committed suicide, there were so many different there's shame and there's guilt and there's lies and just so many other things that we don't talk about. And so I really wanted to create a platform where I could one grieve, right? I can grieve
Mhm.
honestly. I could grieve through not just the suicide, but also all the other things that kind of played a part in that.
Mhm.
And so I started a Facebook group, and the Facebook group was really just to have me talk about my feelings and have other people share those things. And I realized that if my dad was going through this, I'm going through this, I'm not the only person, right? Like there's other people
Right.
out here who are also going through this hard times. And it's not so much as just like domestic violence or sexual assault, because those are also very important topics, but it's other things like stress and grief and dieting and, you know, job loss or, there's just so many other topics that I realized that our community was suffering through. So
Mhm.
start this Facebook group. The group went from having 0 members to 720 within a 6 month time frame.
Wow.
Yes, and so I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had this amazing group already, God gave me this group. Now what do I do with it?" Right? So we're in the group and everyone's chatting all the time daily about different things. Like, they're serving each other, they're connecting together, they're talking about all these things that we don't talk about every single day,
Right.
things that people don't recognize as a problem that we're going through as women. So I started to meet every single month, and I would bring in experts in different fields. We would talk about self love and self care and divorce and grief and just all of these very important topics that I felt like contributed to my dad's suicide. I've
Mhm.
always been a feminist, so I said I can't really help men, but I can help women. so, so, so we'd meet every single month and we'd talk about all these different things. And after doing that for another year and a half, I decided to launch a nonprofit. We were already doing the work anyway. So
Right.
we now are Empowerment Community Center. I opened up a center in October of last year. We have support.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It'll be a year soon, so I'm just so excited. We have support services. So for any woman who needs that like one-on-one support, whether it be therapy, helping with job things, helping with financial assistance, maybe they just lost, a husband or a wife or whatever the case may be, whatever you need that's like that one-on-one,
Mhm.
we help with that. We have support groups. So we have a financial wellness support group, a single mom support group, and a painting and healing support group. Those happen every single week. We
Wow.
have a hygiene pantry. We have empowerment workshops. So really, as I mentioned before, we used to have these topics every single month. So I'm doing that same concept here at the center. We have empowerment through movement, where we go out every month and do different things like yoga and dancing and hip hop classes and
Oh, I saw
whatever.
that song for tomorrow.
Yes, we also count. But the getting the body moving and but also like connecting people together, right? So I recognize that in order for people to be thrivers in life, you need to have friendships and really intentional partnerships, right? So who can you have, who can you count on in your life that you can lean on if you have all these things happening to you? Anyway, then we have what else do we have? Oh, we have an Entrepreneur Academy. So we're actually going to be educating women how to start their own business. They
I
actually
love it.
get a 8 week program and they get a grant of $500 after they finish that. And just several other programs. We one of the things that I'm passionate about is being the person that can go to that community, right? So we
Mhm.
have a victim, survivor, and a thriver. So if you're a victim, that means that whatever you've gone through, we're here to help you for that. survivors and thrivers. We can pretty much help any woman who walks through our door. We have a resource, a group, service, something for that person. So that was really important to me. And that's really one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about empowerment and just giving back, because most people talk about bigger nonprofits, but as this grassroots nonprofit, we don't have just one little road. Our roads are, our lanes are just, 3 or 4 and 5, because we're able to reach the homes of so many women and families in our community.
Absolutely. And you said something that was that really just resonated with me and just kind of is a reminder, especially with women. Can't talk about the men, don't know anything about you guys, sorry. But as women, we are like the super woman, super women. And it really, we take on a lot of stuff. And one thing that I've learned is that even if you do have family, you may not be able to truly express yourself or be able to talk about things fully unless you have something or an organization such as yourself. So, if definitely, if you guys are in the area, definitely make sure that you look more into it, because trust me, just talking to someone can make things a whole lot better. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself, but sometimes you need to have someone.
Absolutely.
Feedback, okay?
Yeah. Yes. My personal thing is that I'm all about talking to yourself, right? I even answer myself. I'm that person. Answer, talk myself, even question myself. But having someone to hold you accountable and to be able to say, girl, that's not right. Or yes, good job, queen. Like, those are things that really can make or break somebody. And just knowing that you have someone to kind of like keep you going, to help you apply for jobs you need, to tell you when you need to leave that job anyway, when that job's just all these things you cannot do by yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's
having
so
a network do it with you, good women who want to give back and want to help you, and your soul sisters, that hits way differently. So
it does. Now let's talk a little bit about your name, EmpowHERment. Like, how did you come up with it? And and I like how you have the capitalized HER in there. So I really like that. So how did you end up just coming up with the name in and of itself?
I love this question because no one has ever asked before. I always just assume. So in the Facebook group that we had years ago, I had a little poll, right? And it said, what is the name of this group? Help us name this group. And someone said EmpowHERment. And so we just clicked yes. And that's what it's been since. And it's funny because now we call it Empowerment Community Center, but it's so funny because I use the her in everything now.
Right.
I have here to shake the table with the her in the middle. And so it's just like, we birthed this name that we use for pretty much everything that we do.
And I love it because it really stands out. And I make sure I include a snippet in here so you guys can see it as well too. I love it. So we kind of talked about like how your company got started and how long you've been in operations. Let's talk about now, what is your biggest need?
So as I mentioned earlier, let's just be real here. Tampa Bay is nonprofit everywhere. There's nonprofits everywhere you turn. And so my challenge is always, trying to get our name out there and get what we're doing. We have great services. Mm-hmm. So I have two needs. My biggest need is first for our community to know what we're doing and come to attend some of our workshops. We have a great amount of people who come, but I think we have such amazing things that we are doing that amplifying that and telling our community what's going on here would really increase our participants, right? Mm-hmm. So I always, I didn't know you were here. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're trying so hard to get our name out there because we are doing such good work. So that's the first thing is, telling people what we're doing and that we're here to help. We're here every single day, 10 a.m. until 7:30. I work on the weekends if I have to. So we're here. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. Second thing is raising capacity. So having people who want to donate to this nonprofit. So there's so many bigger nonprofits around. And so it's constantly trying to not compete, but really, let's say like almost like a friendly competition because you're trying mm-hmm. to, raise dollars and raise awareness, but also have, great community partners to donate and support your nonprofit. So I would say the need is to, let people know what we're doing so that they want to donate to us. My personal goal is to have people say, I had to do a tax donation, EmpowHERment right away. That's something that I'm working on. So those two things are really important to the success of our community and being able to keep going long-term.
Okay, perfect. Now you kind of mentioned a little bit. So you opened up your building October of last year, mm-hmm. pretty much in the middle of COVID.
Uh-huh.
How has COVID affected your organization overall?
You want to know the truth, or do you want to know the
No, real
fear?
raw, the real and raw.
All right. So last year, I was going to buy a home,
Mhm.
and COVID happened, and so I'm like, right now it's not a good time for me personally, for myself to buy a home, but it's a time for me to invest in my business. So I actually invested the funds from my home I was going to buy into EmpowHERment.
Wow.
So that's the first thing that happened last year. Second thing is the donations that we were receiving dropped instantly.
Mhm.
So we were getting hygiene items to be able to make sure we had people attend, come to the center. Those things dropped. People didn't want to come. We do things in person normally, so having to pivot and do things on Zoom and kind of have the bandwidth to do that, and but still make sure it's not boring, right? How many people have had Zooms all day long for the whole year last year? People were tired of doing Zooms at this point.
They're
I love them.
zoomed out.
So
Here
being
we are on the Zoom.
I'm okay with it now. I've gotten used to it. But people were so tired of it. And so having to make sure that people, didn't get bored of these workshops and of these events, and, just being able to still make them fun.
Yeah.
So that was one of our biggest challenges. And to be quite honest, COVID really, I think, for me personally, helped me open my eyes to a lot of things, just how important community is, how
Yeah.
important, bonding and giving back and just being really a part of together is, right? Like it just made me realize there's just so much more going on than just my day-to-day life. But that's a different topic, a different day. Anyways, so I think the biggest thing was just like raising capacity to be able to still serve our women, and trying to pivot to make sure we were doing what we need to do to still reach those homes. Thankfully, we did that. We were able to kind of have our events still in person, but we would kind of have smaller groups. People who could come in person and wanted to come in person, we just make sure that we just sanitize things and
Mhm.
just but obviously that stuff ended up and down, right? Trying to learn from them. So it's honestly still a work in progress. I am a career learner, as I said earlier. So when I find the answer to that question, I'll let you know. But for now, that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Got it. Now, okay. So how have things been like, I would say, for the last 3 months? Like,
Yeah.
have you been seeing an increase in like people starting to come and being able to participate and give back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
People are coming. The center is so busy. We had 500 women and families that we gave back backpacks to last month.
Wow.
A huge number. We have, I think I just got an email from my accountant that we had like 200 families that we've already served from the last quarter to now, which is huge for a grassroots nonprofit. So the numbers of people who we're serving has increased drastically since last year. Our workshop attendance is increasing drastically. As far as people who are giving back, that number still fluctuates, but I
Mhm.
definitely saw an increase since last year, and just since the last few months, things are definitely improving, which is great.
Okay. Okay, you guys. So let's make sure we keep these numbers going up. We'll,
Yes, send them to
we'll.
us.
Okay, so how can they contact you if they need to either donate and or just wanted to reach out, come by? What would be the best contact?
Sure, you can donate or come by or do any type of research on empowerment at empowherment.org. Our social media is a big chance to find out what's going on. We're very active on social. That's EmpowHERment. We have a Facebook group that is EmpowHERment Community Center. You can also call us at 727-290-9856. That's how you can reach us. And for some reason, if they don't contact you back or something happens, you find me. My name is Ambee.Stevens, and I will get on it.
Perfect. And I'll make sure I include all of the contact information in the description so that you guys can definitely make sure that you reach out to Ambee. And you guys, she has some great stuff going on. I looked at the website and I'm like truly excited and so thankful to have had this opportunity to learn more about EmpowHERment. And definitely looking forward to being able to do my part in it and being able to spread the word. So you guys make sure you do that as well. One final thing though, what are going to be your goals for this particular year or over the next 12 years? What are like your main goals?
Yeah, I love this question. So I'm actually sharing this. I just did my whole journaling last night, and so I knew what my dream was last night, but I was like trying to figure out like how to articulate it. So you're gonna get my quick rundown.
Okay.
So something that I really want to do is so we have a center, right? But I have invented it and created it into a center, but it was an office. So I use my skills to make it into a center. My goal is to buy a standalone building that's like 2 stories, right? Top of the building has a co-working space, a very like beautiful and just like, prestigious co-working space with like a library on the side. The library is going to have like books, right? That has like about personal development and leadership and boss skills and, all of these like women focused things. It'll be like entire library. Downstairs would be like our area for people who need that support. It'd be like a counseling room, hygiene pantry, a dress area for clothing if they want to try on stuff. So a full-fledged, like huge community center to be able to have all of this stuff in one, right? So thank Lord, we're outgrowing our space, which is a great thing, great problem to have. But I would love to have a huge building to be able to do all that stuff at. That's the first goal. Second goal is to expand in different areas. So to have EmpowHERment Community Center in all different states and cities to be able to talk more about what we do. And then eventually, because I'm a traveler, be able to go outside of the state of the country and have empowerment in different countries.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I was walking through the building. I was walking through the building as you were telling me about it. I almost fell down the steps though, but I'm okay.
Take the elevator.
Okay. I love it. So you guys definitely make sure that you go to all of Ambee's social media, as well as go to her links and follow, and definitely make sure that you just, if nothing else, share the word, spread it so that others can know about what's going on in the Tampa Bay areas. And again, Ambee, thank you for taking time to speak with me. Definitely looking forward to future partnerships and just being able to, again, assist wherever I can. So until next time, you guys, stay tuned, be blessed, and thank you guys for your time. Bye.
Thank you.